You're the videotape people? You don't want me to talk? It's a group of people. That's okay.
Oh, sure. How do you do it?
I haven't been in touch with them in recent days.
They run a good shop. Okay.
You're on the front.
Hi, it's good to see you.
On the mantle, you have a pair of blazers with
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that I designed.
You did that?
A lot of the things I designed for me.
Those are lovely vases.
That's right, I did it.
Among other things. You are a fine artist.
Yes, you are.
So
Yeah.
tell me how I can help.
Well, let me give you the background on this. You know something about the Baha'is, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Any well-informed person does. And we are now being killed off. These people have lost members of their families there. Number one, because we're supposed to be Zionists, because we have our headquarters in New York. You know that.
Yeah.
Number two, we're supposed to be immoral because they have no civil marriage there. And therefore, we have Baha'i marriage because we can't have Muslim marriage. I mean, we don't have Muslim marriage either, which is
What happened to the Christians?
I think they are recognized by the government, but the Baha'is are not.
I see. All the other sects of Jews, Christians are all recognized and get married, even though they're persecuted, but not to the same extent as the Baha'is.
The Baha'is are not recognized and
At all.
non-existent.
I see. Okay.
They have killed now about 130 or more, and, you know, darling people. They killed them, and after torturing them for a long time, and then they have to pay so much per bullet wound to get the body back, if they let them have the body back. And then they hang them, they do all sorts of things. Now, we have about 300,000 Baha'is there, and they're trying to wipe them out. In many ways, they've taken all their property, taken their bank accounts, whatever they can do, they've done.
Located in
All over.
areas, or they
All
scattered
over.
throughout all?
They're all through the country. I went there myself once, and I visited the Baha'is all the way from Mount Ararat in the north, by the border of Russia and Turkey and Persia, and I went right down to the south.
And they can't get out.
They can get out, but they're standing on principle.
You mean they give up their lives
That's right.
rather than to?
They will not recant, and they stand on the
Oh, wait a
wall.
minute, I didn't say that they should convert. I said get out. Obviously.
Well, in some cases where the
they should
husband
not,
has been shot,
convert.
the wives come out. But the people who are elected to the assembly,
Yes.
they're elected by secret ballot, unlike American politics, by secret ballot. And they serve on a body of 9. Those who have been elected will not go. They will
That's a
stay.
body of 9, but how
Yes,
about 300,000?
but they're in every city. When you think about
I see.
500 cities.
There are 300,000 who don't want to go out, or
They
they
do not
can get
want to go.
out.
But lots of them cannot get out.
They lots can't.
Financially, they are not in a position to
Taken
get out.
everything.
And there are only few countries that allow them to enter the country. America is one of them, Canada is another one, Australia is another one. But large number of countries throughout the world do not even allow them to enter.
And Iran allows them out if they want to go out?
That's
No,
when they
sneak out.
at the border and the airport, there's the application. If they indicate their religion, automatically they're arrested right there.
Automatically arrested?
Automatically.
You put Baha'i, you go, you can't write it.
And I have met some of them.
So are you saying that the Baha'i in the city, let's say take the cities of Iran, Tehran, there are Baha'i there, right? Thousands of them. Okay. Now, the government knows where they are.
Some, the leadership.
They know. I mean, the ordinary citizen, they don't know whether they're Baha'i or
Even
not?
the neighbors know.
Their
that.
neighbors know them. So the police could arrest them if they wanted to.
Yes, if they want.
And my question is, Are they arresting them or are they not?
They're
Most of the
persecuting
time they are
them.
molested.
Most of them are
Molested.
molested.
In the sense that they give them coupons or like identity card.
Yes.
That if they go to buy food as ration. Now, those who get those cards, who they say that they are Muslims. Now, the one who says is not a Muslim, he says I'm a Baha'i, doesn't get that card.
What does he
They
get?
get nothing. Nothing.
Well, now,
And
then
it's
explain
grounds
to
for
me.
food.
Explain
Yeah,
to
well,
me.
in other words, they're not given food. And the children can't go to school.
You mean no Baha'i gets a ration card?
No, they don't get it.
Well, then how do they live?
Now, they have to live up the black market, and the children are expelled from the school. And some of them, under these forced circumstances, they are forced to recant if they are in the small villages.
And
Not
forced conversion.
Right. And neighbors generally, let's say most of the people, they are in a good relationship with the people. If I'm living in a house and my
The
neighbors
neighbors
know me,
don't,
they help. But the authorities, those militia people, the government officials, those are the ones that are set to sort of to extinguish the whole breed, the whole race.
Okay.
And really,
Well, this is a book that has come out recently and gives a full picture of what has been happening in the last year or so in Iraq. It contains the name, the way they were tortured, how they were killed, on what basis they were put to death. Also, I brought you a gift from our assembly that contains some pictures, views of our Holy Shrine in Haifa.
I was not in it, but I did see the shrine.
Yes.
outside.
Yes, sir. In particular, the mayor, I want to put Iran Mansouri. She's the one who have lost two of her uncles within the month or so. One was serving in national government body of Iran. He was killed clandestine. Overnight they picked him up and they killed him. His other uncle, who was residing in Tehran, they killed him a few weeks later. And also this young man here, Abdul Azizi, his father was a successful businessman. And they picked him up and they had some sort of a holy court arrangement, and he was condemned within half an hour or so, and he was also put.
Your father. When did you leave Iran?
I personally left Iran about 10 years ago. Came to England and stayed there. My father became resident in England. And we went to school there. And my father had his business in Iran and he used to travel back and forth. And during the time of revolution, he wanted to go.
Over here. Let me refresh this here. Let me just state again what you have said to me, and maybe they can ask questions. You have said to me that the Baha'i are the most tortured in Iran, more than the Christians or the Jews, who also are subject to discrimination, but the Baha'i, the worst discrimination, because there is an actual attempt to require them to convert to Muslimism again, in that they see the Baha'i as somehow or other a breakaway group and won't recognize you, whereas even though they hate the other groups, the Christians, the Jews, they recognize them, and the discrimination against the Baha'i is that not recognizing you, when you say that you go for a ration card and you say you're Baha'i, you will not be given a ration card, whereas if you say you're a Jew or a Christian, they may look at you with contempt and hate, but they give you a ration card.
That's right.
You told me earlier, for example, you cannot have your marriages recognized.
That's right.
Because they don't recognize civil marriage in Iran, And while the Jews will marry under Jewish law, the Christians under the Christian code, the Muslims under the Muslim code, the Iranian government won't recognize the Baha'i religious code, and therefore they don't recognize your marriages. Is that right?
That's right. And they were also accused of being Zionists
Okay.
because we have headquarters
And in addition to they're hating you because they see you as a breakaway sect and they want to extinguish your lives, they also condemn you because your headquarters, the Baha'i Temple, which I have seen, is in Haifa, and therefore they see you as Zionists, as you have just said to
That's
me,
right.
so you're punished for that
and
as
we're
well.
also punished because Baha'is believe in equality of men and women, and Baha'i women will not wear the veil. We say this is a new day, men and women are equal. They can't wear the veil, and that is not recognized now. And you see, the laws of the Baha'is are so broad and worldwide that they are against that.
And you also told me that a number of you have had your relatives actually killed. You,
Yes.
for example, just told me that your father was murdered by the minions of the Ayatollah. Is that right?
That's right.
And there are about 300,000 Baha'i in Iran. They could have a better life if they agreed to be converted under the sword. It's like the 7th century where they are seeking in Iran to have tortured conversions. Isn't that what
That's
you're
right.
telling me?
Well, you see, there's another reason too. Part of it is, I would say, a sort of jealousy, because Baha'is are absolutely commanded to educate their children. And in a country where you had some 80% illiteracy, you have 95% or more literacy among the Baha'is. Everybody.
So they resent
educated.
it.
And so the Baha'is, of course, had very good positions as teachers and so on.
Now, you also told me that there are only a few countries that will take the Baha'i that are successful in leaving Iran. You said that the United States and Canada understand that you are refugees, and we give you refugee status if you're fortunate enough to leave Iran. Is that right?
And
But
some
you
European
made it.
For application, it is important that there is a place that you would have to indicate your religion. And who wants to fill that application, you have to put down that you are Baha'i. And if you do that, then you are facing the danger of being arrested and taken to prison, and then God knows what can happen to you.
I wanted to add, in case of education of children, few cases in the northern part of Iran. They separated the child that was like 9, 10 years old from the parents. They took away that child from the home under the pretext that you are misguiding this child. And so we take this child away from you in order to educate the child in Islamic faith.
The Ayatollah and his people are stealing the children from the Baha'i. Is that what you're
Under
saying?
the
They use the word kidnap.
They are kidnapping the
There are a
children.
large number of children that have been taken away from the parents. First, because they say that your parents' marriage was illegitimate to start, because we don't recognize the Baha'i marriage. Therefore, we have the right of taking over your education. So there are quite a number of them, I cannot give you the exact number, of the parents who have appealed to the authority that they have taken our children and we want to know what has happened to them and where are they.
Does the press have any questions? So let me, if you do.
I just have, what kind of words of solace or advice or whatever do you give?
Well, my impression in all of these matters, whether it's the Soviet Union that engages in oppression, or South Africa that engages in oppression, or Iran that engages in oppression, no matter how hard-hearted they are, and no matter what they say about not listening to world opinion, they ultimately do listen, not as much as we would want, not as quickly as we would want, but it is important that the world nations and the leaders of the world speak out and denounce what Iran is doing to the Baha'i, because the denunciations do not fall on deaf years, and will save some lives. If not today, tomorrow. And as the Bible says, if you save one life, you in effect save the whole world. So we should try desperately to save one life and every other life that we can.